Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about my experience volunteering for the IIHF World Championship that happened last year in Herning, Denmark. It was also in Stockholm, Sweden. I'm going to talk you through the application, the process in general, how was the tournament, and I'm going to tell you at the end whether it was worth it and if I would do it again. The reason I volunteered and why you may want to volunteer is, first of all, I love hockey, very important. And also for me, I wanted to transition to more like a sports field, and I just love volunteering in general. I love giving my time and helping. At the time, I was already 1 year in volunteering for social media for an ice hockey team, so I kind of had a little bit of an experience, and I just wanted to experience the tournament in general. Of course, I wanted to bring the experience here on the channel. I have a few videos on the IIHF tournament. I'm going to leave everything down below in case you want to see it. Definitely a great way of gaining experience, whether that would be social media, whether that would be in general sports events, and also networking. Super important. This year is happening in Switzerland, and it includes lots of great, strong teams. We know Team Canada, USA, Sweden, Finland, and so on. When it comes to the application and requirements, hockey nowadays is becoming more and more popular, but at the time that I volunteered, it was like still, of course, popular, but not as popular as it is now. So I'd say from my experience back then, also bear in mind this is my experience for this particular tournament. Every year this might change. Make sure that you do go to the official IIHF website to find out. I'm going to put links down below at the list of the IIHF. I'm going to try and find this year's IIHF website as well. I believe that the application is still running, so if you're fast enough, hopefully you can apply. When it comes to volunteering, they don't necessarily want you to have any volunteering experience or hockey, but of course it always helps. Personally, I had a lot of volunteering helping for different festivals and other events. So I do have some volunteering experience, and I also volunteer for Cambridge United. So I have some sports experience, but I'm definitely by no means no expert, no hockey expert, no sports expert. So I'd say not necessarily. You have to go online and apply through the official IIHF volunteer website. It is quite a straightforward process, to be honest. One of the tips that I have is just register your interests, and what happens is that when they actually open applications, they will send you an email, they prompt you to apply, and another tip, apply as soon as possible. So I think it took me about an hour to finish the whole application. You know, the classic interview, if you like, questions. Why do you want to volunteer? What experience do you have? And so on. You apply and they send you an email. And what I loved about this experience is that they were giving you, even though we didn't know that we were selected or not yet, they will still email us updates. I applied around September 2024. I got the email that I got accepted. I believe it was around November, December time. This year, I think they're a little bit late. So again, don't get discouraged. If you want to apply, just have a look and apply today or whenever you're seeing this. Hopefully they're still going to be open. In my experience, there were about 500 people that applied. As I mentioned before, there are certain criteria to be accepted. There is a minimum age. Usually you have to be 18 by a certain date. You have to have a smartphone for email and communication. They also give you an event app where you can go and see, again, updates. You can also select your shifts and so on. So make sure that you have a smartphone. You have to have the willingness to commit to a certain period. For us, it was you had to volunteer for at least 21 hours, which is really good. However, in Switzerland this year, you have to commit to at least 7 days. And also language skills help. You would need English at a minimum. And of course, if you know the language of the host country, also is much more helpful. In my experience in Herning, I'd say that it was a little bit difficult because lots of people that volunteer were Danish. But again, bear that in mind that sometimes you might not listen to English all the time. So that was a little bit of a struggle, I have to say. My experience, they didn't interview me, they just reviewed the application and just literally sent me an email that I was selected. Of course, there are different types of roles that you can pick from. And I believe there were 3 that you can pick from. So you had your top 3 roles that you wanted, and they would assign you to one. They were really flexible and really good with assigning me to the one that I wanted, to be honest. For example, you want specific experience in media, you can apply to the media roles, or if you want stewarding, you can apply to stewarding. I personally got the ticketing and stewarding role, which is something that, again, is a role that I had experience in the past. I just love the interaction with people. You also have options with hospitality, customer services, and so on. Very easily pick the shift on the app. And then once you pick your shifts, then the team leader, they will email you and welcome you to the team and give you any information that you need. I remember I did apply for a specific role, and at the end, I just didn't want to do that role. So I asked if I could do stewarding and ticketing. ticketing, and they were really flexible. There's like, yeah, of course you can do it. So they moved me from one team to the other. That could be a possibility, but that will also depend on the team. So there were a couple of things that I forgot to mention, but in the beginning, once you get selected, for us, it was early January. You have a volunteer day where you can go there, you can meet the team, you can see around, they can give you updates. If you're not in the country at the time, obviously I am based in the UK, the event was in Denmark, so I couldn't go for a day. You have a little course or like a little video where they explain everything to you and introduce you to everything. And you also do a little introduction, like safety thing. And then once you complete that, you get a little certification, you send it to them so they know that you know the safety and the rules behind the whole tournament. And also at the end of the tournament, they also have like an event for all volunteers to celebrate the success, hopefully, of the tournament. Is it physically demanding? Let me tell you, yes. What I was doing was really demanding because it depends on the hour of the shifts. Some of them were smaller, let's say 2-3 hours. Some of them were like 8 hours. I was there for probably 2-3 days. So obviously in order for me to make 21 hours in 3-4 days, I had to pick like long shifts. You had to stand for a lot of hours. So you expect a lot of people. You expect different type of people, different countries. So you had to be alert all the time. You're on your feet quite a lot. Do they provide accommodation? No, they don't provide accommodation. They don't provide flights. The only thing that they provide is there was like a camping site, so you could camp for a discounted price. When it comes to transport, I would always recommend either in the city or next to the arena or very close to the arena, because usually they have shuttle buses, they're free. You can come and go, they're quite frequent, especially on the core days of the tournament. The only thing that we'll definitely have to say is that when it comes to accommodation, you really have to book as soon as you can. As soon as you know that you've been selected, I would say book it, because obviously closer to the tournament, it gets more expensive. Do they provide meals? Yes, they do. And I would say they were really good as well. So let's say if you had 8 hours, you would have lunch or dinner. It was really nice. I really enjoyed it. And it was like a buffet. So you had like lots of food. Also, you do have a volunteer center. So you have an area where every volunteer is there and they have snacks and some soft drinks. And you also get to have like small breaks in between your shifts. Again, this will depend on the role and the length of your shift. And as I mentioned before, there is also the volunteer lounge. You can chill, you can watch the games. Let's say if you're in a break, or if you just want to chill and work, you can do that. They have like couches and you can sit and chill. You can chat with others. You can watch the games. You can move around. So do you get volunteer gear or merch? Yes, you do. I have a video that I actually show the merch. I'm going to leave it down below. Do you get to watch games? Yes, you do. They do give you 2 tickets. One tip that I have, they just inform you when the tickets are available to get. As soon as they tell you that, just book your tickets, because some games are really popular. They give you specific games that you can watch. Actually, it's not, you don't get tickets for everything. I got tickets for 2 games. During my last shift, they were kind enough to give me another ticket. So basically I watched 3 games. I was a little bit disappointed that I wasn't able to watch the Germany-USA game fully, but I manifested another ticket. So yeah, overall, you do get to watch the games when you're not working. They do give you tickets, at least 2. And you also get the opportunity, if let's say you have a break and you go to the volunteer lounge, there are TVs there where you can watch the games. Do you see players or go behind the scenes at all? This will 100% depend on the role. I did get to see some players from Denmark that were coming out. But overall, don't have too high expectations. You might see like the little areas where they do interviews. You might see the media. You might see where they get photographs. As a volunteer, they tell you not to approach players. I had a lot of people from Denmark and they were all very lovely. You do get to speak, but I said sometimes the language barrier can be a little bit difficult. But there were also some other people from other countries, but I'd say we were the minority. It is fairly social. Would you do it alone or recommend going with someone? I'd say 100% going alone. It would be absolutely fine. I'm the kind of person that I'm so used to doing things alone, but I'd say it would also be fun to go with someone. What surprised me the most is how big hockey is, especially in countries like Herning, Denmark. I was talking to this guy. He was like 40 to 50 something year old, and he was just telling me how like hockey is part of his everyday life, and he goes out and he plays with his friends, and it was really refreshing to see. And I had no idea that different parts of the world, especially Europe, I had to be on my feet all the time, especially for the role that I selected. And because I was walking a lot, I even had bloody toes. Bring different types of shoes, comfortable shoes, and a few pairs of socks with you. I'd say that someone that doesn't love hockey and someone that doesn't love people, also someone that is expecting that is gonna go there and is gonna talk to players and chill all the time. No, you may not get the chance to watch the games all the time. It's just more about experiencing the vibe and what goes on behind the scenes as like a big event like IIHF. I'd say 100%. I think everyone needs to experience this once in their lifetime, especially if you want it as an experience in the hockey world. Would I do it again? Possibly. This will all depend on the country. I want to do more events, like more hockey events in the future. I'd say do it. If you're thinking about it, just do it. Apply as early as possible and just have fun. It's a really good move, especially for someone that wants to make connections and experience a big event like the IIHF. And that's it. Just a reminder that this is my experience, and the experience and the requirements and everything else might vary depending on the host country. And I would always definitely recommend for everyone to keep an eye on the host nation's IIHF website. If there are any questions that I haven't covered or anything you want me to answer more specifically, leave any questions down below. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.